just fantastic. To me.
To me.
Before we got on mic, what were you saying?
About which part?
Oh, I think you were telling me not to correct you on mic.
Yes.
Okay.
Please never correct me on mic.
All right, let's move on. Season 1. Episode, I've been told 7.
That's correct.
Something very bad is going to happen. It still hasn't happened yet.
No, but remember the log line for episode 8.
Wedding. No, I don't.
No, we made this a guessing game a couple eps ago.
Yep.
The tagline for episode 8, which is not the episode we're discussing, but it is something bad happens.
Don't you feel like that's a little bit of a spoiler?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I'm curious about the downgrade from very bad to bad.
That's true. They took the V out of there.
So actually, from a teaser perspective, it gives me not really a bunch of new information, but has piqued my interest.
So maybe what we learned this episode is that she is going to avoid very and just have bad.
Maybe. Or maybe contextually, what had seemed at the start of the season to be very bad, now in the context of the show,
It's just normal bad.
is just bad.
I would say quite a few bad things happened to her this episode.
What was the worst thing that happened to her this
I'm going to
episode 7?
say the removal of her toe,
Sure.
but it also may be drinking bloody semen toe champagne.
We don't actually know that she drank it.
That's true.
So
no, we did. Didn't
that's
she have
speculation.
it on her lips?
I don't think we got a confirmation that she drank it.
Okay. Either way.
You always yell at me when I jump to the end of the ep, and here you are just
Yell at you.
Yes, our voice is raised.
You holler. Yeah, I did jump right to the end, didn't I?
Right to the end, when there's so much rich text between the beginning and the end.
Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
What happened?
Well, it picks up
Day of?
the hour before.
Hour of the wedding.
We end episode 6 with Mom in some pretty bad shape.
Did they end the episode that way, or did they just start 7 that way?
On 6. It wasn't clear like how bad it was, but on 6 she is reacting very negatively after the conversation that she has with Nikki.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the closer there.
Oh, that's right.
And we come in on 7 to learn that things
In a
are very
coma.
bad. She's in a coma. So they're trying to figure out, 1, if she'll wake up from the coma by just gently rolling her.
A gentle little nudge.
2, if they should postpone the wedding.
Which Portia is running that show.
It seems to be sort of one person wants to take that route. That's Portia.
Did Portia ever like Rachel?
I think Rachel has a quote in there about how she's never liked her. So from Portia, from her perspective, no. I don't know. I don't remember her being openly antagonistic in episode 2. I think that's where they met.
Episode 1 they meet in the
kitchen. Okay, so the last part of
she's pretty
episode
kind of
1.
antagonistic, just because she tells him the sorry man story that Jules wants nothing to do with.
Yeah, I got the feeling that was just Portia being quirky, but you might be right. Certainly, that's how Rachel interprets it.
Yeah, I'm just
that
curious,
she's never liked.
I don't feel like she comes off as never liking Rachel outwardly, but this episode she's full on. She thinks she's a witch. She summoned the devil apparently, which was, we're told, her great aunt or her great great aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And through her great great aunt, she learned what she thinks is the solution, which is essentially if she drinks the right potion, she will become Nikki's soulmate.
Right, and this comes from was it the episode title of 5?
I think so.
Which is the riff on Something Borrowed, Something Blue.
Yeah.
We talked last time about how that's a pretty badass episode title, and it really is pretty much the entire plot device of this episode.
Something stolen, something red. Something and something dead.
Yeah.
So she has to get something stolen from her mother-in-law.
She cross-references this with the book.
Yeah.
With
Where
her
did
special
the book come from?
She just had it in her book bag. That was a little confusing to me as well. I mean, she's always been a little on the witchy side. I guess she just brought it with her.
It's a great book. Had some nice text in it. Lovely pictures. But yeah, she needs to steal the hair of her mother-in-law, the semen of her lover, the blood of her enemy, and a bone from her body.
Yes. Yeah, the book kind of lays this out pretty specifically.
So she has 60 minutes. I think she speed runs the whole thing in about 15, other than some small minor distractions, which is hilarious because I feel like I don't know if it's super typical of a wedding, but like the bride and the groom getting bothered on the day of, which at the same time, I'm like, you think people would be like, hey, they have stuff to do.
I don't
quit trying to pull them aside. She's not even dressed.
I would be so confused as a wedding guest. Like, shouldn't you be? Yeah. Is this what you're wearing? What are you? Shouldn't you be somewhere?
That's fair.
I really enjoyed this app.
It was a great app.
Part of the reason I enjoyed the app was the camera work. A lot of oneers and fake oneers, which goes through first of all for the time because it is an hour.
Photography was exquisite, and it kept changing targets too, which was very good. I don't know if the whole thing was a oneer, but it was pretty damn close.
You could see the seams to it, but I mean that's only if you're looking for them. It looked great. It looked fantastic.
They did a couple floor switches when she went down to the basement. I thought that was all coordinated really well and pretty awesome.
Or they'll go to like the static shot. There's a scene of her looking at the portrait where she's painted in. And that's a pretty easy transition there that you can do.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it was a great, it was, how do I say it? It was executed wonderfully. And it was also a very good camera device for the type of episode we're talking about because it's 1 hour. It's about the runtime of the episode. She's frantically going from here to there and trying to get everybody to help her or they're trying to work against her.
Trying to keep Portia from canceling the wedding.
Yeah, it was exactly the correct set of camera tricks to use in an episode like this. It just worked very well with the type of action they were doing.
It was very fun to see her trying to juggle all of the she's like, I'm trying to do ridiculous things right now and also juggle this wedding that possibly might happen and these guests that keep asking me questions and keep my future sister-in-law from canceling the wedding, which somehow she has absolute power over and could just cancel the wedding. Which Rachel does make the good point. She's like, I don't need the guests here.
Yeah, you can just go ahead and tell them to leave. And of course, Portia's not going to do that.
Here's one thing I'm confused about. Does Portia not know about the curse? Or does she not believe it? Because she seems the most likely to believe it. Like Jules, we know is like all of a sudden this like lost puppy wants to protect her. And I think it's somewhat of the tie that they have this horrible experience. And he basically saw her brought into the world in a horrible way. But I just feel like Portia, being the spiritual person they are and having witnessed this being taken over by a ghost, would be like, oh, this curse is real. I don't want it to take over my family, which is what happens if she doesn't go through with this wedding. I would think that she would be the one pushing the hardest for the wedding.
Yeah. When you were asking if she just doesn't like Rachel, I think it's possible that she is against having the wedding because it's for her mother. And this was her mother's dying wish. And this is her reaction to her mom going into the coma. and she can't deal with that. And boy,
is this also her, like, if the wedding happens, then my mom can die now?
my mom is dead. She doesn't get her dying wish. You could convince me that it's not really about Rachel at all. It's completely about her mother's last gasps.
Is it possible Portia's in love with Nikki?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Like here, Nell makes out with Rachel.
Yep.
Rachel tells Nikki this.
Nikki had already been told.
He's already been told, and he doesn't give a shit.
No.
I bumped on that a little bit.
Yeah, I just feel like, I guess the reason I think I would have bumped harder on that is that he's just been told that his perfect mother and perfect father and their perfect marriage had some infidelity, and that's crushed him, and you think this would add on top of it, but I guess his kind of reality to all of that is just like numbness to everything.
He does say he's unmoored. He doesn't know who he is. They do have that conversation.
I think it really comes down to is I don't think he, like, unmoored is a great term, right? He is like his value system is not there. His compass is gone, and so he doesn't even know what's wrong or right anymore. And I also think he somewhat thinks that this rift between him and Rachel that's going on is his fault. A, for lying about their meet cute, and B, for like not really being there this last week, because he's all up in his head about his mom.
Yeah. So the last ep, she leaves the engagement ring on the table and goes off for an entire day. So yeah, he may just be grateful that everything is back to normal.
Does he believe her? He says he believes her kind of at the end, but does he even believe her that this curse is real? Because it seemed like she had to trick him for his contribution to the potion, if you will.
You're talking about
the semen.
Got it, the semen. That's what I thought you meant. I thought you meant the semen.
As in the seed of life, not U.S. Navy servicemen.
Oh, thank you for the clarification. God bless our troops. I interpreted that more as it's just kind of weird to have sex right before your wedding in the state that everybody's in.
That's fair.
Everybody's running around. They've only got an hour. There's a curse hanging over their head. There's all this ambiguity. Mom's in a coma. Is she gonna wake up? I'm not sure. That's not a sexy mood.
No.
For most people, we're not kink shaming, but I that's how I read his hesitation. He didn't hesitate that long. He
no. I don't mean this
got hard and
hesitation. I
completed
just
pretty
think
quickly.
if you're trying to solve a curse, and one of the ingredients is owned by your husband-to-be or bride-to-be, I feel like you just ask for it, I guess is my point. But maybe she's worried about telling him what the solution is, because we didn't touch on it, but essentially taking this potion by turning her into his soulmate, their theory is that basically she becomes like a Stepford wife.
Yes.
Which is the term they use.
Which Nikki would probably try and talk her out of.
Yeah, I think so. Because he's a good dude, or at least that's what we've been told.
Correct. So I think that plays into her understanding of who Nikki is here. She keeps going out of her way to talk about what a good guy he is and how she will make herself good.
Yeah.
For him.
They keep touching on this theme a little bit about like who's bad and who's good and who's rotten, and I don't see that as like a steady theme throughout the show, but I feel like they really tried to make it a thing this episode all of a sudden. Like, I don't feel like Rachel was self-hating in any other episode. Like, she knows she's neurotic, and she knows people don't understand her like feeling of this horrible thing that's following her. But I don't think she like ever portrayed this like this guy until now.
No, I don't think that's the character though. I don't think I think that comes from like her childhood, from her youth. There's some unexplored stuff between her and her parents, right?
Sure. Dead mom, father who's
estranged.
Yeah.
So I think that neuroticness and just the overall way that she presents herself to the audience, to their new family, etc., I think says she was that way in the past, and seems to have largely settled out of it or grown out of it. But it's now all of these feelings are coming out. These insecurities are coming out during this very stressful period of a couple of days. So I agree she hasn't shown it, but to me, I think it's a deep part of her childhood, deep part of her character, even though they're not personality traits that she's actively communicating.
Yeah, I just feel like this episode made it like they tried to make it this theme as if it was a theme of the entire show, not just the conversation that Rachel has with Nikki. That's the only part that bothered me about it. Is like when you bring up a big theme like that that's supposed to be this like they both think they're bad people and the other person's a good person. That's just like a thematic element that I just think was missing from the rest of the show if that was supposed to be like the centerpiece, if that makes sense. Do you remember the son's name? Is it also Julian?
My first thought was Jude.
That might be right. I feel like it might be like Judea or something.
We're talking about the Neff, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the ring loser.
Because, I was going to mention he loses the rings, which Portia stole. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know why I didn't even for a second think that she stole them.
Agreed.
When she handed him over, I was completely like, oh yeah, of course she fucking has them. Of course she took them. Because the whole time Rachel's worried about the witness who has showed up now and having a great time, which... It's very interesting to me because earlier he also seemed kind of somber about the thing and not like he's always a little whimsical, but he didn't seem like he enjoyed this thing, watching like his love or his family die. But he seems to be rather enjoying this night.
Loved it. In this last step, was talking about how he's wearing. Was it her dad's tie and something from her mom?
Yeah.
Got all these little trophies.
Her mom's ring.
That he's...
Isn't it?
I think it was something else. Because the ring, remember, she has around her
That's true.
neck. It was some other piece of jewelry. But he's just been collecting them over various failed...
He only takes them when they're dead.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this while we were watching it, that acting in this show is fantastic. Everybody fits their role very well and does a fantastic job. I don't think there's even the kid, which is always one that I think is always
a dicey move to bring a child actor. Yeah, but he's been great.
He's been good. We end the episode with the wedding beginning.
Nikki has been walked down by mom and dad, so mom's better. Mom wakes up.
Oh yeah, mom wakes up. That's a big deal.
That's wonderful.
I guess I should. Rachel is on her scavenger hunt, and she goes to steal a little of mom's hair. She takes way too long to do it. Just have a little thief confidence in what you're doing. She snips the hair as father-in-law walks in, doesn't see it, but they're kind of chatting. And she realizes that Dr. Dad is about to euthanize the mother, and she kind of tries to stand in the way, which it was interesting to me because was she just fighting that out of she's a psychologist, I can't allow harm to be done to patients type situation, or just was there something we missed where the mom has to be there for the curse to be laid out? Because it seemed like it was almost like life or death to her to try, which obviously it is, but to her that the mom is there. Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was just, hey, it would be really weird if you killed your wife right before I married your son.
Fair.
I didn't read it as anything more complicated than that.
I guess the reason I asked that is because he asks why she cares, right? And she's like, well, I just think maybe what if she wakes up? Maybe wait. I just feel like she was making excuses in the way you'd make excuses when you're trying to lie about why you want something.
But I don't know. I think it can just be as simple as what I said. You get done with the wedding. Oh man, I wish Mom could have seen me up there getting married. Yeah, well, there wasn't any chance of that. Dad killed her.
Dad murdered her. But then all of a sudden she just wakes up.
She wakes up and she walks down the aisle, and we end with we assume Rachel walking down. I'm not sure we saw her in her dress or anything.
I think she's still in the room.
I think we saw the room from her perspective as she walks through the door.
Okay,
was my read, but I might be wrong.
And then we saw her looking in the mirror with her glass, or not the glass. It was, to my mind, that she drank it, because it seemed like her lipstick was smeared and it had some of the residue of a disgusting blood, semen, hair, bone drink. What are you washing that down with?
What am I chasing that particular cocktail with?
Yeah, or what are you mixing that cocktail in?
Gosh, I'm probably chasing that with a shot of whiskey or something. I'm just clearing that all the way out.
Yeah, I think bourbon was my first instinct, but I think I'm going worse. I'm going like Everclear or Absinthe or Malort or something that's like worse, just like like absolutely covers it up completely. So you're just like, I don't know what. Like, I think Malort would be a great one, because Malort makes me want to vomit anyways, except for maybe the chance that you don't actually keep it down. But yeah, something where it's just like absolutely horrendous, but I know what the horrendous flavor is, so I don't have to like be surprised by whatever this flavor is.
So you think she took it?
I think she took it.
I'm going to zag on you and say she didn't take it.
I think that narratively makes more sense. It makes the show more interesting.
Yeah, she says, hey, I'm pretty sure he's my soulmate.
But I'm just curious, what if her taking this drink is the bad thing? Not
Possible.
her dying.
That's my second question, is what is the bad thing that's going to happen?
They have to live happily ever after.
Horrible.
Also, minor mention, it seems that this tragedy is starting to bring Jude and Nell back together.
Jules.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah, they were getting pretty kissy, doe-eyed at each other while
they were
was chopping the toe off.
They were remembering that they're
a strong partnership.
I was trying like they absolutely make a good team, but I feel like they need another person in their relationship to tear down. Like, they need someone to bully for them to work. Does that kind of make sense? Like, they need that kind of
well, they have their kid.
They do, which I hope. They seem to cherish him.
They have a child.
They seem to want to protect him, because they didn't want him to see them ripping the tail off, or the toe off. But yeah, I feel like they need a polyamorous relationship, but not for sex, just to have one person that they're like, they need a nanny that they can constantly belittle for them to like exist,
for them to work.
Yeah.
It's still on my radar that now all of the bad stuff is coming from Rachel with all of her various curses and stuff, and we started the series with so much bad stuff coming at her, not from her. So that's still on my radar. We still have a wedding full of people she doesn't know.
We threw it out there that it's possible that she could marry Nell. I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
but it was a fun wild card.
So I'm going to continue with my idea that I've had from episode 1, Wicker Man, Get Out type of scenario. The family has been bad all along. There was too much weirdness at the start coming from them to walk that all back.
It would be like, there's two fun takes on that. One, that she survives all of this for a different horrible scenario, for a different very bad to happen. And then B, the other fun one is that they set all of this up to get her to do whatever ritual she just did that prepares her for this other thing.
Yeah.
Which I think is also fun. So.
Right. They were dressing her in stuff. Maybe they set it up to drink the cocktail. Yeah.
I like that.
I'm still expecting something like that.
I like that twist. I like that Shyamalan. She's been listening the whole time.
Wow. Do you want to see what happens?
Yeah.
Stay gold.
Stay gold, Pony Boy.